We are Canadian!
Trump just slapped tariffs on a frozen, uninhabited island with no people, no economy, and no Costco. We're talking the Heard and McDonald Islands. Congratulations, America. You're now officially at economic war with penguins. Hope they've got a defense pact with the puffins, or we're looking at World War fluff.
Welcome to another episode of Is This Real Life or a Never-Ending Loop of This Hour Has 22 Minutes?
Donald Trump just fired up a global trade war by slapping new tariffs on over 100 countries. Not just China or Argentina. No. We're talking Lesotho, Cambodia, Laos, Madagascar, the Falkland Islands, and yes, the Antarctic archipelago owned by Australia.
Here are some real highlights from this economic bingo card. They include coconut milk from Thailand, dried apricots from the Philippines, and from Norfolk Island, population 2,188, hair accessories from a lovely couple who manufacture in India. So get ready to pay $15 for a hair tie, America.
Who knows what's next? Tariffs on moon dust, rainbow sprinkles, maybe unicorn horns. Before we get into the economic mayhem, let's be clear, Canada isn't backing down. In fact, Prime Minister Mark Carney said if the United States no longer wants to lead, Canada will. And he means it.
This is the guy who ran both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England. He's not just qualified, he's overqualified. Canada's already been teaching the world how to deal with Trump's nonsense. With new economic ties, a real strategy, and an actual adult at the helm, Canada is ready to thrive.
The US has fallen off the leadership cliff. The rest of us, we're ready to prosper. Canada is stepping up, and we're just getting started. So let me get this straight. Trump wants Canada to spend more on defense, while he's out here blowing kisses to Putin like it's a Cold War rom-com.
He wants NATO allies to jack up defense spending to 5% of their GDP. That's not defense. That's him drafting the world into a war he might start over a bruised ego or a bad tweet.
It's like giving a toddler a bazooka and saying, well, we better arm up in case he throws a tantrum.
Meanwhile, Melanie Joly drops a truth bomb. She said, it's important that we all agree that Russia is a threat. If not, I don't know why we should always increase more and more defense spending.
Exactly. Why are we being asked to prepare for war when America can't decide whether Putin's a threat or a brunch date?
It's like installing a security system while your roommate leaves the door wide open and bakes cookies for the burglars.
If America's switching sides, then let's call it what it is. They're not our predictable ally. They're a potential liability.
Maybe we'll talk about defense spending after the US decides whether it's a part of NATO or trolling it. Because if they're cozying up to the enemy, they are the enemy.
And no, Trump is not the president of NATO. Other countries don't answer to him. We invest in our own militaries. We're sovereign nations, not the backup dancers in his military fantasy tour.
Let's connect the very red dots. If you still don't think Trump's a Russian asset, let's talk. Vladimir Putin has always dreamed of destroying Western unity. And now, Trump's helping him do it from inside the White House, or whatever gold-plated lair he's operating from today. This isn't trade strategy, people. It's economic sabotage dressed up in a cheap suit and a red hat.
And in case you were wondering, Russia didn't make the tariff list. Not even a slap on the wrist. Trump's out here tanking the American economy, isolating allies, and handing Putin a win without firing a single shot. All seasoned with ego, wrapped in a red hat, and served on a Russian platter.
But guess what? The world's not taking this lying down.
China hit back with 34% counter tariffs. The EU's targeting US autos and agriculture. Brazil, South Korea, South Africa, Australia, they're all lining up with economic counterpunches.
And Canada, our beautiful, polite economic warrior, is stepping up because this isn't economic patriotism. It's economic arson. Trump's holding the flamethrower and Putin's holding the gas can.
So let's talk about actual leadership. While Trump was flashing his dumb new gold card like a 5-year-old with Monopoly money, Prime Minister Mark Carney was busy being an adult. His government responded to Trump's trade war with a $40 billion economic support package, 25% tariffs on US vehicles and non-CUSMA compliant content, and a clear plan to defend Canada workers. Every dollar raised from these tariffs is going straight to the support programs for the people who need it most.
We're talking employment insurance reforms, deferred taxes, and a financing facility to help businesses weather the storm. This isn't panic, it's preparation. Canada's economy will be strong. And more importantly, Canadians are united. We don't back down when things get tough. We get to work.
So while Trump throws economic spaghetti at the wall, Canada's actually cooking up a recovery plan with policy, not tantrums. Canada has safety nets. That's why we came out of COVID ahead of much of the rest of the world.
Although if you ask the trucker convoy crowd, they still think COVID was a gimmick. Millions dead, and they're whining about staying indoors during a Canadian winter while cashing CERB checks from the government.
Meanwhile, Musk and Trump are busy funneling funds to their billionaire bros. Where is all that money from their budget cuts going anyway? Healthcare? Infrastructure? I don't see any plans to make America better. Just a guy sprinting to his golf course every time there's a crisis.
And speaking of grift, on the same day markets had their worst crash in years, Trump unveiled the Trump Gold Card. $5 million for a glorified green card with his face on it.
It's like an infomercial for treason. Call now and we'll double the chaos. Just pay separate shipping and handling and, democratic stability. He also said the market crash was expected. And the US economy is just a sick patient undergoing surgery. Yeah, more like setting the patient on fire than selling them a loyalty card. Coming soon, the Trump Care Burn Unit. Only $5 million and your dignity.
And the doctor? A guy who bankrupted a casino, sold fake steaks, and ran a fake university.
He claims everyone is calling him, which translated from Trumpies means no one's calling and everyone's pissed. He claims $7 trillion is coming into the USA. Translation, he just lost $7 trillion and has no idea what he's doing.
But we're told to trust him. Trust the guy who bankrupted 6 companies, including a casino. A casino! The house always wins in a casino, unless your name is Donald J. Disaster.
Remember when American banks stopped lending to him? Guess who stepped in? Deutsche Bank, the same bank that was fined for laundering billions of dollars in Russian money.
Trump's sons have even bragged about Russian funding for their projects. So, did Russia bail him out? Let's just say if you follow the money trail, it smells a lot like vodka and oligarch yachts. No direct receipts, but a whole lot of shady financing from folks who don't exactly prioritize democracy.
And here's what's coming next for the US. Soaring import prices, food, clothes, cars, massive retaliation targeting farmers, manufacturers, small business owners, and foreign investors pulling out of the US. There's also going to be major corporations freezing hiring and investment. And the middle and working class? They're about to get steamrolled. If this is the art of the deal, then America's deal just got repossessed.
Why would any company invest in the US right now? Trump could wake up one morning and say, "You owe me 50% of your profits." He's unstable and investors know it. The Trump administration loves to say they're tired of bailing everyone out. Excuse me? When did they exactly bail out their G7 allies?
Oh, right. They didn't. We sent our soldiers to fight their wars. We've lost lives defending American interests, not the other way around. The only person Canadians need to defend themselves from is Trump.
And let's not forget, this is the man who skipped the dignified transfer of 4 fallen soldiers because he had a tea time and a Saudi-funded dinner at his golf resort.
Real leadership there, dude. Honoring soldiers? Nah. He was too busy chasing live golf deals and golfing 27% of his second term away, while billing taxpayers over $30 million for his little joyrides.
This is the same guy who called soldiers losers and suckers. He insulted John McCain for being captured and tortured in Vietnam, and now he's barking orders about defense spending like we're all playing for Team Trump.
It's insane. The world was shifting towards peace. That's why countries eased defense spending. Then Trump shows up, lights international trust on fire, and wants us to pour gasoline on the flames.
And by the way, Canada isn't America's sidekick in some action movie. We're peacekeepers. We lead with diplomacy, not bravado.
So no, we're not jacking up our budget to 5% just because a guy who dodged military service because of fake bone spurs wants to cosplay as a commander-in-chief of the world.
We don't work for billionaires. We work for peace.
And just when you think only America's lost the plot, Danielle Smith, or our traitor in training, is out here sending informal love letters to Quebec Premier François Legault, talking about teaming up on provincial sovereignty and floating Alberta's own little fantasy of separatism.
She wants Alberta to override federal decisions and pick judges from her own list. That sounds familiar. She also wants to mirror Quebec's plan for its own constitution and citizenship. Smith says she's not into separation. She just likes holding hands with it under the table.
So let's be real. Putin and other dictators have had their eye on Canada for years. And Smith, she's just playing into that destabilization strategy.
And Legault, seriously? We were with you a few weeks ago. Now you're entertaining separatist ideas again? Okay, sure. The letter was polite, and you just said you're mulling it over. But come on, this isn't the time to flirt with fracture.
And to make matters worse, federal bloc leader Blanchet said he was going to play nice with Canada for now, but come October 2026, he's gonna call a full-blown independence referendum.
So great. We're Canada United unless the Bloc and Danielle Smith decide it's time for another breakup album.
Danielle Smith is copying Trump's playbook, undermining federal unity, pushing divisive policies, and it's not hard to see where the influence is coming from. And Quebec, we have no idea how you feel about this. So let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you.
Because to Quebecers and Albertans, do you really want to lose your healthcare, your pensions, and one of the best passports on the planet? All over what? Symbolism and MAGA rage?
So Trump is sabotaging the US economy, Smith is trying to tear Canada apart, and Mark Carney, well, he's leading like an adult.
This isn't left versus right anymore. It's survival versus collapse. Sovereignty versus sabotage. Sanity versus chaos.
And we're here to call it out every single week.
So when the election comes, don't split the vote. If you lean NDP or Bloc, vote Liberal in. We need someone who's actually qualified to steer the economy through this storm. Mark Carney ran the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England. That's not politics, that's competence.
And if we play our cards right, Canada could come out of this as a global superpower. But if we get distracted, divided, or complacent, we play right into Trump's hands. And we've seen what he does when he's holding the cards.
It's not pretty with his tiny hand.
They're very small.
We're pretty close to 100,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe and click on that bell for notifications because we put up new political videos like this every Sunday, and stay tuned for Travel Tuesdays.